Hey everyone, Zero in the house, and welcome back to another video, World of Vision Final Fantasy Braxby's new content overview, where we have a look at what's new every week. Today it's Ranan's week, and we'll see how you can incorporate him in your current roster, whether it's worth pulling for him right now. We also talk about whether it's worth getting him if you have Ibara in your roster and things like that. Without further ado, let's have a look at what's in the summons. Very basic, this is the third Warrior of the Crystal, so nothing new here. Except for the unit, of course. So Ranan is here, 42,000 Visure. You have them, you'll get him. Pretty straightforward. Now, in regards of his kit, he's quite comparable to Ibara, but he does have less accuracy than her, and she's already kind of blind. On the other hand, though, he has a little bit more magic. I think he's in the ballpark of 500 magic versus Ibara on the 470 from memory. So I think they two will synergize very well, but they might also kind of fight in regards of what vision cards they want to have assigned to them. If you have Ibara, then hopefully you also have her vision card, because he's gonna be pretty much best in slot for this guy. Even better than Europa, if you ask me, which is the vision card that's coming up next week. Other than that, you know, if you don't have Ibara's vision card like me, you'll probably want to see how you can slot in a vision card that increases magic damage output, or even lightning damage output. Anyway, let's move on. It's the 4,500 banner, which I really dislike. You don't even get a guaranteed chance of getting the unit, so why waste your paid Visure like that? Moving on, we have 5-year guaranteed for 10 summon, 2,000 paid. This time, you know, it also includes vision cards, so meh. I mean, like, we're approaching the anniversary, so by that time we'll have much better paid deals, so hold on to your horses, keep saving up, and you won't regret it. And I believe that this is another paid banner where you can get Mind Sphere for the Warrior of Crystals. So if you already have Warrior of Crystals, the 3 that are currently available to us, you might want to explore this banner. I do not really recommend doing it because we have other avenues of getting Mind Sphere for these guys. So in general, I'll just say to save your paid viz this week, because the good stuff is coming. There's only, what, 2-3 weeks to go, so keep holding on. Now, these are quite interesting banners. So we have MR plus only, and you do have a PD gauge, which fills up by 20% every shot. So today we have Lightning Dark and Wind and Earth, and I do see this as a way of grabbing your Visure. I mean, like, I sound like a broken record by now, but everything that is out this week is pretty much trying to steal your savings. So I don't think there's much point in me talking about whatever else is here. However, if you're planning to get Ranan, or you want to get him in the future, don't forget about his guild banner. Okay, let's move on to the shop. So we don't have anything interesting in the special shop, like we have no deals at all, so I won't even delve into it. However, we do have a Crystal Festival Deluxe shop, where you do get a chance of getting this guy. You know, maybe I'll do this, I'll get it, and we'll do a pull for this guy. I mean, I'm not using any free Visure, so why not? I do need to up my stars as well. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend doing anything else. Here, the free XP cubes are really helpful. I'm really enjoying this every day. It's being quite consistent, and I hope that it keeps going this way. Now, we also have featured this week's weapon and accessory, and we'll talk about these guys in the Farplane section, so stick around to know more about these things. Other than that, nothing that really grabs my attention. We also have a featured Ranan shop, and well, a Warrior of the Crystal shop, to be more specific, but tailored for Ranan. Nothing I want to touch here, even if I had these units. And these are the units that we can EX this week, from this week on, and we'll talk about it around the appropriate section of this video. Okay, let's move on to the Farplane. Lots to talk about here. The first thing I want to talk about is Ranan's weapon, which is acquirable through the third scene of the Where the Crystal EX jobs. So you finish these fights, and then you'll be able to farm the weapon. You should be able to get a +3 in the brutal version, so that then building this weapon should be less of a pain for you. You don't have to gather 63 recipes. Now, this weapon, what do I think about this weapon? It does have a lot of spirit penetration, and it's not tailored specifically for Rana. But I think that at this stage we do want something that also grants magic attack up, and I can't see this in this weapon, even in the magic version. So it's a nice skin to have, but I think that Rana can have better things equipped to himself, if I must say so. So don't stress too much about this weapon. It's a nice to have. Now, we also have another piece of content in the Farplane, which is For the Love of a Smile. Here we can see Howlet in a slightly different attire. Looks a bit more mature, if you want to say so. And it seems that somehow Kilf is involved as well, so we'll definitely enjoy this interaction and see what it's all about. However, the most important thing about this is that we're going to get an accessory, which is called the White Cape. And the White Cape does offer a number of resistances, but what might interest some people more is the fact that it has 5 agility as well, and the vital version of this piece of equipment can grant north of 300 HP, which is going to be quite useful for those tanks that are going to be front-facing and might be prone to getting charmed, paralyzed, and immobilized. So, pretty nice piece of equipment for most people over here. Both yellow and pink will now get the chamber F, so that's an extra 150 visor that you can get for free. So let those visor savings rack up. Every little bit is important. You don't underestimate. It all adds up in the end. Before we delve into the units upgrades, it's worth noting that we have a new piece of story, so that's another 1000 minimum visor that you can save up this time. So pretty happy about that. I'm really liking the cliffhanger from the last scene, so I am happy to be amazed with what's going on with the two new units, well, characters so far that have been introduced. We'll see what relationship Alaya has with those girls. And let's talk about this week's new EX jobs and MA2s. First, let's talk about the MA2s. So we do have Oldoa, Aline, Shiza, and Learte that are getting an MA2 this week. And so let's talk about them one by one. So let's talk about Oldoa. Oldoa does get wind unit max HP up by 10%, wind attack by 15, on AP acquisition modified 30%. That means that she gets 30% more AP whenever she attacks. Slash, pierce, strike, missile attack resistance by 15, HP 15% up, drain force range and range height by +1, and AP consumption down. And you know what, guys? I'm ultra excited about this one. Now I'm actually gonna be compelled to finish building her and see what she can do in a wind team or even in a drain force team. So Oldoa is one of my more liked characters, especially in the way she looks. So I'm gonna be pretty happy using her. Hopefully she gets much better than what she's been so far. The drain force upgrades are gonna be amazing. She can equip some good stuff that will increase her base HP even further to make that drain force more effective. So pretty happy to see how she'll behave in even PvP. If you guys want to see her in PvP, drop a comment and I'll work out a strategy to make her work. The other unit to talk about is Shiza. So Shiza this time will get Dark Unit Allies max HP 10%, Dark Attack 15%, Own Strike Attack 5, and Evasion Rate by 30. So they're trying to make her more evadey and also hit slightly harder. And I mean, it can work, but I'm still not compelled in using her. I think I still have her at level 99, and I think she's pretty comfortable there. So that's how it's gonna be, guys. Still not compelled about using her. They really need to do something crazy. Maybe the dual VC and the runes might be able to save her in a situation where we really need to build a strike team. Learte also gets an MA2, and from accuracy 50, aquatic killer 50, she now gets accuracy rate 100, aquatic killer 100. And seems like she can be an evasion buster with that much accuracy. She doesn't even need maybe sharpshoot. So it would be worth playing around with her maybe at the next CM match, but I'm not compelled to push her to 120, even for the lightning selection quest, I'm afraid. So that's that. And lastly, we get Aileen. Aileen does get a fair amount of stuff in comparison to the previous unit. This time she'll get Earth unit allies, max HP by 10%, Earth attack 15, own max TP 10%, pierce attack 10%, defense piercing rate 20, and initial AP 20. And in my opinion, they didn't address her biggest flaw, which is her speed. Yes, there's ways of managing that. We have a lot of equipment that now increases speed, but it would be good for her to have some innate agility up, not only by whatever equipment she has. Maybe she needs to ditch that cape. Maybe that's what's slowing her down. Or maybe it's that massive lance, I don't know. Could be something else, but I'll leave it at that. Anyway, let's talk about this week's EX jobs. I think a lot of people might be interested in one particular unit from this group. So let's talk about Margritte first. There she is. So what does Margritte get? She will, off the bat at job level 19, get Meteor Enhancement, where it will become Meteor Wildstar. It will raise own spirit piercing rate for 3 turns, then deal non-elemental damage to targets based on caster mag. So it will just deal more damage, keeping account that the units that she'll hit have spirit. Otherwise, yeah, it's okay. I mean, doesn't blow my mind, but she's an MR unit. She does have MR stats, and it could work out depending on the situation. Moving on, she does get Speedcast Enhancement at job level 22, where she'll significantly reduce activation time and raises Berserk activation rate. Oh, okay. I am not familiar with the Berserk activation rate. I wonder what that is all about. And at job level 25, she'll get Wildstar Incantation, where she'll deal medium damage to targets with range based on caster's match stat, and lower spirit for 3 turns, and chance of inflicting Berserk for 3 turns. Now that makes sense. Okay. So the passive is strictly tied with the job level 25 skill. She'll now be able to deal Berserk. She seems to be an anti-magic unit, with the fact that she can inflict Berserk. So she can have her use case in particular class matches. So I'll keep her in the back of my head, especially in a situation where we'll have a big mage meta, and then we get thrown a class match. Other than that, not too hot on building her straight off the bat. And if you have a look at her board in general, she does get a lot of magic, some agility, and a bit of luck, and upgradable HP node, which I completely dislike. That's a shame. But other than that, she does seem like a nuker, even with the Meteor upgrade. So, satisfactory upgrade overall. Now let's talk about Lorenzo. And Lorenzo now gets job level 19, Dragon Dive Enhancement. I love these skill upgrades at level 19. Make the unit a bit more usable. Enhances Dragon Dive to Barrier Break Dive. Destroys any barrier that reduces physical damage on targets within range after jump delay, then deal medium damage. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, barriers don't seem as common as they used to be maybe 6 months ago, seems like this upgrade is a bit late. If he had gotten this upgrade as part of the first EXable unit, then, you know, there would have been a strong case for him to be upgraded. Other than that, it's nice, but not compelling enough. Then he does get a job level 22 Dragon Kin enhancement, where he'll raise on attack and accuracy rate for 3 turns. Okay, not much to comment in regards to that. And job level 25, he'll get Dive of Destruction. Small AoE. Removes Protect, Shell, Courage, Re-raise after jump delay, then deals damage to target within range. And this is what I like. It's a shame that he's an Earth unit because most of the evade units are on the side of Wind, but, you know, there's still Dark and Light units. I'm sure that most of you are aware of who those units are. So he will have a case scenario in regards of being used. If we ever get some battles where only MR units get used, I think this would be amazing. But with the current roster, something to consider, but not to jump on like a hotcake. And his whole kit is looking a bit all over the place. Luck and Dexterity to increase his accuracy. Luck, Dexterity, Attack. Upgradable HP node, which is annoying. And yeah, Agility upgrade just at job level 25. It's a shame. Big shame. They should have done him. They should have made him faster. That's my opinion. Let's talk about Howlet now. I think he's the upgrade I've been waiting for the most. As you can see, my win team is kind of lacking, and having him at job level 20 will definitely level out my lackings in my team compositions. Job level 19, he'll get Iroga Blade enhancement, where he'll deal wind damage large to targets within range on caster's match stat and bestows Earth Eater and lowers bravery. Nice. There's gonna be increase in Earth units with the fact that Ranan is now out. So I am definitely gonna build him, and I'm gonna throw him in one of my teams, because I know that everyone that has Ranan will want to use him, and then someone will make an Earth team to try and counter him. So let's counter the counter. Let's go with that, and we'll be happy days. Job level 22. Drain Evocation will become Osmotic Evocation, where it will deal small damage to target based on caster match stat and absorb damage dealt, and significantly raises own match for 1 turn and raises slash resistance piercing rate. Okay, I like this. It seems they will deal more damage, and not much else to comment about that. It will just have a higher damage output and perhaps heal more health, which is good. At job level 25, it'll get Augmenter's Blade, where it'll run on Spirit piercing rate, then deal 2 hit to the target with medium damage. Single unit. That's a pretty good AP consumption if you ask me. Yeah, pretty happy about this. Seems like he's a real damage dealer now, and can't wait to build him properly. Actually, he's one of the units, as I said, I'm pretty keen to build and throw into Arena or other team. If you have a look at his EX board, what do we have here? Agility, Match, Dexterity and Luck. Upgradable Match node, finally. So definitely tailored to deal damage, and super happy about that. And with that is all. Thank you very much, guys. Let's do that Ranan pool and see whether we're lucky. I don't think we will be, but you never know. Oh, I knew it was gonna be a brown book, but there's 3 upgradable units. So let's do this. So no go. Okay. Oh, damn. That would have been pretty cool. But I'm still gonna get medals for this, so Mog medals and stars, I think. So, ooh, okay. Oof. I don't think it's gonna be him, but you know, it's still nice to have a UR. Yeah, I knew it. We had some 2 OG UR units, and that's how it's gonna be. And that is all, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're aiming for Ranan, best of luck and happy farming. And I hope that you get to build the unit that you want to build out of this MA2s and EXable units. You guys have a good one, and we'll catch you next week. Bye for now.